Hello and welcome to E&J Gallo Winery Internship Week session. We're so glad to have you here today. And actually, you will be connecting with 4 different hosts today. And I'm first going to start by introducing you to Massimo Lesti. And I will have him take on over.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jan. And thank you to the rest of the CSUN Career Services here. Really happy to be here. Thank you all for your patience as we got set up. So I'm just going to get right to it. We'll start off with a little sign in here. So if you guys have your mobile phones handy, this is a great way to just keep in touch with us, keep in the loop on some of our application reminders, and keep up to date on kind of what we're doing on campus next. So take an opportunity there to scan that, and we'll keep on rolling with it. So we're going to do some introductions to our team here.
Before you do so, I'd like to just ask the students if they have any questions to please put them in the chat. You can put them in the chat throughout, and we will get to them either throughout the presentation or at the end of the presentation. And please remember to keep your cameras off and your microphones on mute. Just go ahead and put your questions in the chat. Thank you.
Perfect, thanks.
So I'll go ahead and start us off. Hello, super excited to be here. I'm Jenna. I am a district member and graduated class of 2020.
Jenna, we're losing you a bit on the connection there. Anyone have eyes on her?
Can you hear me?
Oh, there you go.
All right.
Try it again, Jenna.
Okay, so I'm Jenna, super excited to be here. I'm a district manager for GALLO'S, so I manage a team of sales reps. I went to UC Santa Barbara and graduated class of 2020. I majored in psych and brain sciences and art history, and I landed on sales. So if you have no idea what you're going to do with your major, don't worry. I was in the same position, and it'll all be right. It'll all work out. And my favorite Gallo brand is High Noon.
Well, hello, everyone. My name is Cassandra. I am a sales rep with Gallo. I've been with the company for 1.5 years now. I'm a UC Riverside alumni. My major is business administration with a concentration in finance, and my favorite Gallo product is Fairfield Bubbly.
Hello, everybody. My name is Bailey Johnson. Super excited to be here today. My current role with Gallo is a field training manager. I've been with the company for about 1 year and 4 months, started as a sales rep. I am an alumni of Oregon State University up in Oregon, go Beavs. And I studied marketing and finance up there. And like Jenna, my favorite brand is High Noon. And I'm getting excited to see all of our displays for that brand go up for the summer. So super happy to be here.
Alrighty, and I'll take us home with the intros. So my name is Massimo Lesti. I am the sales recruiting manager for the Southern California distributor. I've been with the company for about 3.5 years. This is my 4th position within the company. So kind of gives you an idea of the upward mobility that we have in terms of opportunities within the company. I graduated from Chapman University with the business admin major, and my favorite Gallo brand is Louis Martini. If you guys are into Napa Cabernets, it's a great little boutique winery to check out.
All right, guys, we'll get started with our meeting. Really quickly, our agenda for today, we're going to start with the company overview. We'll talk about sustainability, our wine portfolio, diversity and inclusion, and we're going to wrap it up with the sales internship program. All right, so our culture and values. So a little bit of a background of Gallo Wine Co. It started with our two brothers and a dream. E&J Gallo Winery was founded in 1933 by Ernest and Julio Gallo. Ernest was in charge of the sales and marketing, and Julio took over the winemaking. And today, this is the craziest fact ever. Like today, E&J Gallo is the largest family-owned and operated winery in the world. My favorite part of this slide as well is that 1 in every 3 bottles that we sell in retail wine are sold in the US are Gallo wine. All right, so Gallo is vertically integrated operation. So what that means to you guys is just so much more opportunity for mobility and just many different job opportunities that you can have within the company. So for example, we own our vineyards and our growers where we make our wine, our warehouses where we bottle glass, our glass bottles, and then glass production, if you guys are interested in research in wine, and even marketing and digital and, you know, creativity in general. Next slide. All right. So our 6 company core values. Number 1, integrity, respect, humility, innovation, commitment, and teamwork. Honestly, as a sales rep, you're able to see this throughout the whole entire company, whether you're a merchandiser and all the way to upper management. It's just so nice to see a whole team, a big team, you know, just all land with the 6 company core values and just getting all together, being innovative. Teamwork is something that is seen throughout the whole teams in the areas, and just treat each other with respect and integrity. And then on the right side, you can see, you know, cute picture of our displays of High Noon, some parades that we've been to with pride, and then, and then on the bottom, some winery tours that we've been doing. Oh, there we go. I think there's, do you guys see like little, oh, there it is. Okay, next slide. Okay, so we are also 5 years in a row Glassdoor's best places to work in. We're family-oriented, fast-paced, collaborative. We emphasize on diversity, inclusion, and belonging. And we focus on personal and professional development. I think something that is very different in Gallo is that we really focus on that personal growth. I remember when I was in college, it's something that it's not very talked on when you're trying to get trying to find a job after college. And, you know, I've grown so much as a person within Gallo that personal development is something that I feel like everybody in this call could say that it's something that we love about Gallo. All right, our recognition. Other than Glassdoor, we're also being recognized for our business performance, diversity and inclusion, and sustainability. I'm not going to touch too much on sustainability because we get more slides coming up for that. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Next slide. All right, so we care about our communities. Everybody here is family. So for COVID-19, Barefoot donated $300,000 to the children of restaurants and employees. And Barefoot is our biggest wine brand that we have. So it's very nice that our leading wine brand was able to donate $300,000 to CORE. We also have a fundraising partnership with Barstool Sports. We were able to fundraise $100,000 the first week. On the right side, you can see the hand sanitizers. My favorite part about it is that when COVID-19 happened, you know, it was so hard to get our hands on face masks, hand sanitizer, and everything to take care of ourselves. And Gallo was so kind that we started creating in-house hand sanitizers, which is just great. You know, they were passed out throughout the whole company. And it's just nice seeing that, you know, your company is taking care of you.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and touch on sustainability now. Sustainability is a huge part of our company and has been since it was founded in 1933. So we really care about our community, and we lead the industry by doing more. The 50-50 Give Back program was started by Julio Gallo in 1933. Basically, for every acre that we plant, grapes on, we save an acre for the natural environment. So if we were to buy 100 acres, 50 of those would stay to the natural habitat. And this was started in 1933 before any other company really put an emphasis on sustainability. And we kind of led the industry with that. Our company sponsored the Sustainability Club.
Let's give Jenna a second to come back in. Jenna, if you can hear us, you're gonna have to take a second to come back online. All righty, let me share my screen while she comes back in. Okay, can everyone see that?
Yes.
Skip
Yes.
ahead here.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sharing my screen in case you cut out again.
Perfect, thank you.
Jenny, you want to leave off on that?
Yes. Okay, so yeah, so I'm not sure where I cut off, but Gallo Glass Company sustainability we focused on that since 1958 when we first started making glass bottles, which we lead the industry for that as well. And we also minimize the use of synthetic chemicals, fertilizers, and pesticides in vineyards. And instead we use really natural techniques in order to keep pests away. And if you can hit the next slide. So as I said, 50% of Gallo's 23,000 vineyard acres are left untouched for the natural environment. This is so huge. And as an industry leader, we really lead the charge for how every other company should focus on sustainability. We also partnered with do you mind to go back one slide? Sorry about that. We have reduced our use of pallets, which saves 1.7 million trees and 1.6 million cubic meters of wood waste. As I said before, the glass sustainability, 230,000 tons of glass is kept out of California landfills, which represents 30% of all glass recycled in the entire state. This is huge. This is Gallo's direct impact on our local environment. We recycle. We pretty much use every single part of the grape. If it's the skins, we use that to create dye, oil, flowers, and cattle feed. Everything that we can recycle and reuse to reduce our waste, we go ahead and do. And we've also put a huge emphasis on alternative energies with 10 acres of solar panels installed since 2014 and 20% of energy at Livingston Winery offset via biofuel from grape waste, which, as I kind of talked about before, any single part that would normally go to waste, we try to repurpose and reuse. Additionally, for water, we've reduced our water usage by 25% since 2017, which is 100,000 gallons of water that we've been able to save. And 93% of water is recycled at our Gallo Glass plant each year. We've reduced our energy use by 8%, installed 10 acres of solar panels, and offset our energy by 20% by making biofuel from grape skins, seeds, and stems. We go ahead for recycling. We have a 98% reduction of volatile organic compound emissions by our spirits facility. 14 tons of plastic and cardboard is recycled at our sites annually, which is 87% recycling rate. This is huge. And 29% of all recycled glass in California comes through our Gallo Glass plant, which keeps tons out of landfills and repurposes them. Additionally, we love to get consumers involved and create brand awareness, emphasizing sustainability. So one of our brands, Starborough, For every bottle sold, we donate $1 to Oceana, which helps preserve our oceans. Oceana is one of the largest international advocate organizations, 200 plus victories, 4.5 square miles of protected ocean, 10 countries, and 3.5 million global advocates. So I think overall, Gallo cares about sustainability. It's been at our core since the very beginning of our company. And anything that we can do to help the environment, we definitely do. A strong and growing portfolio. Go ahead and put in the chat if you know any of Gallo's brands at the moment. If you can go back one slide, Mosma. So we lead the US market share for retail wines. 1 in 3 bottles of all wine sold in the US is a Gallo wine. This is incredible. This is pretty much as high as a one winery can have legally in California of the market share. Next slide. And Valentine's Day. High Noon, yes, Barefoot, love that. Barefoot is the #1 wine in the world. Oh, I hope you guys can hear me. It says my internet connection is unstable.
You cut out for a second, but we can hear you. Or not.
It's delicious. Almost, yes, some black box displays. We love to see that. Love to hear that. Brand out there. Vodka, huge seller, and Black Box, one of our new brands. Yes, Apothic. Love that. Next slide, please. So these are some of our domestic wines. A lot of them are produced in California.
Jenny, you're cutting in and out a lot. So why don't I just kind of speed us through the last part of this until we kind of get that situated. So here's just a little bit more of our domestic premium table wines. As Jenna did mention, a lot of these are grown in California, given that that's where our headquarters are. So Edna Valley down there in San Luis Obispo, Louis Martini, like I said, over in Napa, same with William Hill. Of course, we are an international company, though, so we have a lot of imported table wines as well. Alamos Malbec is an award-winning, it's the #1 selling Malbec in the US market. So if you ever want to kind of branch out of your traditional Cabs or Merlots, definitely try that guy out. And then Whitehaven, Fleur de Mer, all from around the world, really kind of see where we source all of our grapes from. Of course, the popular and economy table wines are a big part of kind of what keeps the lights on for us as well. We know that a lot of our market comes from the introduction to the categories, really how they get introduced into wine in general, is starting at this part of the pyramid. So working their way up by getting introduced to a more appealing, easy entry product. And then to round it off, sparkling beverage wines and coolers. La Marca, the #1 selling wine SKU in the nation, just kind of gives you an idea of how big of a brand that we have. And that's just one of 120. So big ideas of kind of how much dominance we have in that market. Spirits as well. We have a leader in pretty much every category. New Amsterdam Vodka, one of the top 3, including Pink Whitney, a huge part of our innovation. We just acquired Rumchata last year. E&J Brandy is a long-standing stalwart. Camarena, one of the most awarded tequilas. And then High Noon, a top 3 hard seltzer in an exploding category that's up in the quadruple digits.
So Sergio mentioned New Amsterdam and Barefoot, so he's aware of those wines.
There you go. Yeah, it's hard to miss, honestly. If you or a family member has ever bought a bottle of wine, there's a good chance that it's been a Gallo product at some point. So just kind of shows you that we're kind of everywhere, even if it doesn't seem obvious. And a big part of that is because of our innovation. So just to give you an idea, 1 year, 2019, we introduced 113 new SKUs alone in that 1 year. So gives you an idea of how much innovation means to us and how much that really contributes to our overall growth. 20% of that comes from products that were introduced in just the last 5 years. So really gives you an idea of if you're not growing, if you're not constantly innovating, then you're shrinking, you're falling into the background. So it's really important to keep up with the rest of the market and to actually set the pace for everyone else instead of kind of keeping up with everyone else. All right, and then hand it off to next for diversity and inclusion.
Yes, we're going to go ahead and jump into diversity and inclusion. So first of all, I want to go ahead and define these terms for everyone here. So diversity is the collective mixture of human beings and the identities they have coexisting in a space. And this includes race, age, gender, sex, disability, religion, and personality type. And then inclusion is creating a welcoming space of belonging and respect, providing equitable opportunity for people to show up as authentic selves and impact workplace in a meaningful way. So in the workplace, it's really important that we have a variety of perspectives because that's what increases creativity and innovation. And then that in turns is what leads to higher employee engagement and less employee turnover. So very important that companies, especially Gallo, has this as a forefront value. So then looking more specifically at the workplace, kind of starting back at the basics, this is seen by just having that respect for one another in that room. Everyone can achieve similar results through different perspectives. So it's cool to, talk to your colleagues and, work with each other to reach goals and then consider everyone's perspectives. Everyone has such unique backgrounds and ideas. So it's cool to work in a team. I know specifically here at Gallo, we are a big team environment, whether it's your small team in your area, all the way up to your area team, and then the team as the entire company. So it's very cool to hear everyone's perspectives. And then that kind of leads into the last bullet point, that it's really neat to learn from your colleagues' experiences. Once again, everyone has a different background, so it's cool to see how everyone's path has led them to where they are now. Next slide, please. Cool. It's also important to understand that we all have biases, whether or not we're aware of them. So it is important to acknowledge and understand those, especially being a part of a sales force, because we are working with people every single day, with our customers and our buyers at these stores. So we need to acknowledge, those biases that we might have. And I'll go through some of them here. So one is affinity bias. This is a positive response to people who are similar to us. And the next one is halo bias, admiring all of a person's actions because of their praiseworthy actions in the past. A perception bias is the tendency to form assumptions about groups to make it difficult to make an objective judgment about individual members of these groups. A confirmation bias is seeking out evidence that confirms our initial perception, ignoring any contrary information. And then lastly, here we have group thinking, when the desire for harmony or conformity in the group result is affecting the decision making. So, there's a lot more biases than those other on this screen, but, once again, as Gallo, we are selling our portfolio and we're selling ourselves. So it's important to understand that we are all biased and that we need to become more cautious when we're making these sales decisions, just so we treat everyone the same. So going into this slide, as Massimo just touched on, we have such a diverse portfolio here at Gallo, from wines, within those categories, reds and whites, all the way to different types of spirits, different types of packaging. We have cans, we have boxes, really everything. So it's really cool to have this diverse portfolio. But kind of what's the reason behind this? If you want to go to the next slide. The reason is because we have diverse consumers. I bet you everybody on this call, we might not all like the same products. So it's important to have a diverse portfolio to really allow everyone to find something that they like. And then as a sales team, how are we going to get these diverse products to our diverse customers? And that's what we do through having diverse talent. Everyone here at Gallo comes from such a unique background. And in my time here, it's been so cool to ask everyone, how they got to the role that they are today. And that's just what's so incredible about having a diverse talent. There are so many sales goals, fun things to go to. I know we had our general sales meeting today where, we were able to interact as a full team in this distributor down here in SoCal. And it's just so cool to see that, we are all so different, but yet working towards the same goals. So it's important to have that diverse talent. And here's a blurb from E&J Gallo. I'll go ahead and read. So this is our commitment to diversity and inclusion. We value the diverse skills, backgrounds, experiences, and cultural differences every individual brings to the workplace. We believe that seeking diversity in all its dimensions encourages innovation and creativity, leading to a stronger company with better results. Our initiatives will focus on ensuring equity and opportunity for all. We are committed to diversity and inclusion and fully acknowledge that it is a journey. So Gallo is actively implementing ways to increase the diversity and inclusion, and understands that this is always going to be something that the company will continue to work on in the years to come. So here at Gallo, there's lots of cool things that we currently have implemented for D&I. I'll touch on just a couple of these. So within certain brands, we have new community support. We have campaigns that will launch with specific brands and goals there. We'll have financial support, like an employee matching. So Gallo will match one-to-one to any cause that you as an employee give to. The VPs of our company, they have major goal-driven initiatives that they're constantly shouting or letting us know what they are. As employees, we have mandatory trainings, whether that's monthly, quarterly, annually, just making sure that all of our employees are staying up to date and educated on what's going on. Conversations at every level, whether that's, a one-on-one with you and your manager, as a team, as an area, or overall, as a nationwide company. There's always conversations about this. And then lastly, we have the creation of the diversity and inclusion playbook. So here at Gallo, we really value training, and we're constantly training and educating our employees. And that goes back to, making sure that we have a playbook that really plans and tracks, success for diversity and inclusion. Another, just as teams, we focus on diversity and inclusion, but it really is up to every single person in this company to foster this value. And that starts with overall raising awareness, doing that through recruiting outreach to universities, employee development, community support, through advertising, training, job postings, and then financial support. So really in all avenues of this company, you'll find working towards diversity and inclusion. One of my favorite things that E&J Gallo offers is employee resource groups, or ERGs. And this slide and the next slides show a couple that this company has. And these are basically groups that work towards, cultural development, education. It's a cool, mentorship is offered within these programs as well. You don't have to identify with these organizations. All allies are welcome. I'm personally a member of Women of Wine and Spirits. So it's really cool to kind of branch out with something, bigger than yourself, engage yourself with more of the company. It's a great way to network and really learn more about organizations. These are a couple blurs about a few of them. If you want to keep clicking through these, I'll highlight a few in a second. Cool. So I know I said that I'm a member of Women of Wine and Spirits. I absolutely love it. I have so many mentors through this organization, and I'm excited that, hopefully with the pandemic soon to be in our past, we'll be able to hopefully have some things in person. We'll be able to get to meet some of these leaders. But this organization's mission is to enable women to maximize their professional potential through education, empowerment, and engagement of allies. And it offers, conferences, mentoring and sponsoring, trainings, and then just the opportunity to build your network. And the next one I want to highlight is the Gallo African American Network. This organization is committed to diversity and inclusion and places a high value on developing future leaders, encouraging employee engagement, and increasing employee retention for African American and multicultural employees across the entire E&J Gallo Winery Network. So once again, these are throughout the entire network. So you're not just, meeting with one-on-one people that are, your next door neighbor. It's really cool to grow your network there. And similar to the one I just touched on, they offer that mentorship, the ability to learn and develop members and allies. They all have social media to stay up to date on. And once again, just a really cool way to kind of integrate yourself into the company more beyond just your sales team. So as brands, we also have partnerships and programs that our brands will be attached to. So Barefoot, for example, I know Jenna said it's the #1 wine brand in the world. So a lot of people already buy barefoot. So it's important that, we attach really cool campaigns to that brand to show, what we're supporting. A couple on here I want to highlight is the We Stand for Her and the Pride campaigns. So this, when we attach a program to a product, this means that as a consumer, you can purchase and support causes that you really believe in. So when you're, buying these brands and these products, you're helping to support these programs. And as a sales rep, as an employee of E&J Gallo, you are responsible for informing these customers about the amazing things that our brands are doing to support our communities. And it's really cool to build these displays and know that you're, giving back to a greater cause. I think that wraps up. So I'll pass it off to Massimo to go into the internship.
Perfect. Thanks, Bailey. So gave you a lot of information about our company. So now kind of time for what we're all really here for, see what opportunities we have for you guys. So really excited. This is my favorite part of the job, is to come out here and show you guys exactly what you can do to kind of be a part of this awesome company that we keep talking about. So this being the internship week, the first thing that I really want to drive home is our internship program that we have for the sales department. So this gives you a quick layout of kind of what the daily job responsibilities would be for being a sales intern. It is a 8-week paid rotational sales internship. It is based out of Southern California. And basically it gives you a day in the life experience of what it's like to be one of the sales professionals in our distributor. You get to work in a competitive environment. You collaborate with your fellow interns and other colleagues to create a project at the end. And you actually get to present that project to one of the some of the head directors of the distributor and even the winery. So it gives you a lot of awesome FaceTime with some of our upper management. And it even gives you the opportunity to make an actual impact on one of our brands or one of our programs and try and see how can I help optimize this and maybe provide a different perspective. The actual rotational aspect of it itself, basically every week you're out with a new person, shadowing them, seeing what do they do, how do they contribute to this large organization, and honestly, is this something that I could see myself doing? Like we talked about, there's a lot of different paths that you can get into after you've established yourself as a sales professional. So you can kind of see, do I want to stay in the customer development area? Do I want to get into recruiting, into marketing, maybe working with restaurants and bars? You get to kind of get a glimpse at all of that and get a really just top down full perspective of what it's like to work for this distributor. Just some quick requirements that are necessary. You do need to be 21 by the start of the internship for obvious reasons, working in the alc-bev industry. You should be obtaining your bachelor's degree and graduating by 2023. So this is for the current standing juniors on the call right now. If you're too young, that's okay. It's a great opportunity to stay in contact with us and kind of work towards this. You do need a legal right to work in the US, and a valid driver's license with a vehicle is also required because you're going to be kind of going around to different accounts with these professionals and shadowing them in their daily lives. So this gives you an idea of some of the roles that you're going to be seeing. Everything from a sales representative, right? People out on the sales floor working with their customers, the district manager, people who are leading those sales reps, all the way up through area managers, and then seeing our account executives, the ones who are kind of liaisons with the chains that we work in. On-premise sales, so that's working with wine bars, with liquor stores, etc. And really just kind of getting that overall view of how do our business-to-business, face-to-face operations flow within the company, and really see where that can take you within Gallo itself. So that's a good idea of what it's like to work at the internship. Really, what are internships? It's a way for us to get a permanent job after college. So I would be remiss to not mention what it's like to see how it's like to work for Gallo at a full-time position. And that's really where our SLDP program comes in, Sales Leadership and Development. It is an accelerated sales program. We divide it into 3 stages. So if you're looking at graduating at the end of the semester, or looking for what is that kind of full-time opportunity that I want to work towards, this could be a great option for you. Our entry-level position is a sales rep, basically learning sales leadership for yourself. You're going to be the CEO of your own territory, learn what it's like to be that sole proprietor and drive business forward. Once you really mastered that position, that's when the district manager position comes into play. and you're taking all of that leadership experience and applying it to a team and creating that team culture. And then finally, phase 3, that's really when you've established yourself as a sales professional and you can see, where do I really want to apply my skills throughout the organization? Cass mentioned that we are a vertically integrated company. So there's a lot of opportunities both within sales and outside of sales that you can really make your mark. So similar to the last info panel, this kind of gives you a more in-depth idea of each of these processes. Basically, we have a lot of training that goes into each of these roles. So as a sales rep, if you don't know anything about wine or spirits, that's okay. You learn a lot about the industry itself. Same for the interns. You learn a lot, both hands-on as well as in the classroom. But you also learn how to build those face-to-face relationships. Once you get into that district manager position, you really learn how to train others, as well as learning for yourself about how your management style and how to develop that, and really learning what it means to motivate people. Everyone's an individual. They all get motivated uniquely. So learning how to channel that for each person. And then finally, those various opportunities kind of gives you an idea of where you can take your skills to the next level. What is it like to work as a sales rep? You're working independently in your territory, doing a lot of problem solving. Of course, communication skills are key to be a good sales rep. You do get the opportunity to analyze your business, really see where can I optimize my numbers? Where can I kind of step up my game in terms of developing a more complete business? And then learning that persuasion and negotiation skills. You're learning how to sell not just a concept, not just a product, right? A bottle of wine, but actually learning how to sell yourself. How do I become a reputable, trustworthy business partner that I can be seen as a good, mutually beneficial relationship with my other customers? So if you can learn how to sell a wine product, you can really learn how to sell anything. And it's really more about creating that long-lasting consultative relationship. This is kind of what a day in the life looks like. Merchandising is a key component of this. That means selling in incremental displays and building them out in an impactful way to draw the eyes of the customers. This is really how we drive those incremental sales of products, especially if it's new. If we need to get it out in front of our customers, this is how we really drive sales and build brands. High Noon was a very small kind of project that was kind of that pet project of the winery, and we turned it into the number 3 hard seltzer in the nation. Of course, order taking is of course necessary to make sure that our product stays full on the shelf, and then just executing brand standards and programming. And again, this is something that an intern will take a look at, but you're more in a in kind of a viewing role. It's an observational internship compared to the sales reps who are actually making this a everyday part of their core competencies. These are just some more awesome examples. Really kind of opens your eyes to, you know, if you see product like this displayed impactfully, this isn't something that just the store does by themselves. This is actually the blood, sweat, and tears of a vendor, of a sales representative, merchandisers, really making these products come to life and display them in a way that the retailer couldn't do by themselves. They don't have these programmings to bring in. So that's really where we provide value to our customers. And then just in general, what's it like to grow your career at Gallo? We have a lot of opportunities for upward mobility. 95% of our sales leaders are promoted from within. I don't think that anyone on this call can say that they had someone leading them from outside of Gallo. Basically, we always have someone who has gone through the same training experience as us, and that really helps preserve our company culture. It's also really based on merit. So the hard work does pay off. That's why with these 3-phase programs, there's no strict timeline. It's really based on showing your mastery of a program before you switch to that next role. And then, of course, training is there for every role as well, so that you can really feel set up for success. A little bit more about the sales district manager role. Really, the 4 key competencies are managing, leading, coaching, and motivating your team, and driving. Really, my favorite part of this is creating my own team culture, understanding what motivates each individual, and then really bringing them together to achieve a common goal together. Then phase 3 and beyond, these are just a couple more opportunities within the company. If sales maybe isn't something that you see yourself sticking in long term, that's fine. take all of that collective opportunity, all of that experience that you gained, and apply it towards something else like supply chain, finance, being a spirit specialist, a fine wine specialist. Really, the possibilities are endless. I hear about a new job within E&J Gallo Winery probably every other week. It's just that massive that it's hard to really keep tabs on, but it's so fascinating to kind of see where you can grow within the company. This kind of just shows you how it's broken up between brand management, hospitalities, direct to consumer, etc. So really something for everyone within the company. And like I said, our training program is best in class, whether it's learning out in the field, learning in a classroom setting, learning about the product itself. At our general sales meeting today, we did a lot of tastings just to really understand what it's like to be the customer on the receiving side of these products, and how do we best market this? How do we position it within each of our stores? So with all that said, here is how you find us on Handshake. The internship program, which is of course why we're here today. Super easy to find on Handshake. The code is at the bottom here, but you can also just type in our name. I was going to say Google. You can Google us as well, but you can also just find us on Handshake. Type in E&J Gallo. You'll find us right there. And then the SLDP program. So that's for the full-time seniors. Type in that code or type in Gallo. Just make sure you apply to the right one. Again, the internship is for rising seniors, and the SLDP is for graduating seniors who will be graduating this May. So just to leave you guys with a quick quote here, this is what Ernest Gallo said, our president at the time when he was being interviewed by Schenken News Daily. They asked him, what lessons do you take from your forerunners leading the family business, including your father, Joseph, and founders Ernest and Julio Gallo? And Ernest told them, hire great people, then invest in them, listen to them, and create a culture and environment for them to thrive. So that's something that we really take to heart at the distributor. And it's something that really has a ripple effect all the way up through the rest of the company, really investing in people, making sure that they feel set up for success and can really thrive. So with that, we will open it up to any questions. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so you all can actually see me. And we will look at the chat and see what you guys would like to know.
Okay, excellent. Thank you, everybody. We've got a few great questions already in the chat. One, besides sales rep, are there any other internship or programs for business majors, or I'm going to say any major, that Gallo, Ernest and Julio Gallo Winery offers?
Yeah, I'll take that one. So basically sales is something that we really push as a introductory level position, because especially if you are a business major, if you learn how to sell a product, if you learn how does that product go into the hands of the customer, what motivates them to purchase it, you can understand pretty much everything else about it. We get a lot of people who are really interested in marketing, but if you want to learn how to become a great marketer, you have to learn how to be a good salesperson first. They really go hand in hand. That being said, if you are really decided, hey, sales just isn't for me, I'd rather work on supply chain, I'd rather work in marketing on a social media level, something like that. Going to gallocareers.com, you will see a full list of all of our different job postings, and you can apply there. It's not within our hands. I'm the sales recruiting manager because sales is specifically what I focus on, but that gives you a full list of all the different opportunities, maybe outside of the sales.
Okay, and I think you probably answered our next question, which is in information on IT programmer analysts, and the student concern mentioned that they saw it on the website. We've got another question from a computer science major wondering if there are any roles for me, and I'm assuming this would be specifically within the sales program.
Yeah, again, if programming is like your jam, that's what I am born to do. Gallocareers.com would be where you'd find anything like that. That being said, we have a lot of opportunity for people who are maybe more analytical to still excel in sales. I see a lot of our best sales reps really excelling because they can analyze their business even from a technical standpoint and learn how to really improve that based on the types of analysis that they're doing. So it's really just kind of a judgment call. At the end of the day, if you want to grow, if you want to learn, how do I actually form those face-to-face connections and gain consensus, right? That's the whole idea of what sales is. Going through this program is really going to be one of the most illuminating experiences in that regard.
Okay, I don't see anything else in the chat, but I do have a general question. I'm Brian. I'm one of the career counselors in the Career Center. And do any of you have any advice that you would give to our students that are still in college, and maybe anything that you would do different, having the gift of retrospective now?
Sure. Someone want to take that?
I can start. That is a great question. I mean, I know the last couple of years have been kind of funky with everything. Kind of going off of the conversation about, different majors. I changed my major so many times in college. I mean, it's so hard when you have a list of things and trying to, figure out what you want to do for the rest of your life. I wish I could go back and tell myself, like, you're not locked into anything. And I think what the cool part about this internship program is you get to really see so many different avenues of the company. And that, your career is going to be, for a large chunk of your life. And so you're going to have multiple opportunities to try different jobs. I know me, I'm a marketing and a finance major. So had the passion about marketing, but then also really loved the analyst side of finance. I know within the sales role, we focus on a lot of numbers. And so that's kind of been one of my kind of side projects and passions, is really analyzing the numbers of our business and understanding, why do we have these certain sales goals? Why do I have this number I'm trying to work towards this month? So if I could give any advice, it's almost kind of like take a chance on yourself. If you're curious about something, if you're curious about sales to see if you would like it, and you'll apply and go for it, because you never know unless you try. So that's kind of my good piece of advice there.
We do have one. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I think Cass is having issues too. Yeah, basically reverberating what Bailey said. Going out of your comfort zone, I think, is super important, and not just doing. I think Jenna said it really well as well in the chat. Not restricting yourself what's related to your major, but really what interests you. There's no reason why you have to maintain just what's in your bubble. The world is a multi-faceted place. It's not just a silo. So the more that you can actually stretch yourself beyond just what is being taught in kind of your narrow educational field, the more well-rounded of a professional you'll be.
And we have one more question in the chat. Can we connect with everyone through LinkedIn if we have further questions?
Yeah, that would be great. You can find me pretty easily. It's just my first and last name, Massimo Lesti. I'll probably be the main point of contact just in terms of recruiting stuff. But if you have any specific questions on each of our roles, I'm sure the rest of us would be happy to connect with you. I won't speak for everyone, but yeah.
Would love to connect.
Okay. Also, they did say that they couldn't access when they did use the QR code. They had a hard time accessing the site. So they said, can you put that in the chat by any chance?
Yeah, we have a tiny URL. Let me see if we can share that in the chat before we leave, and then that way you guys can just click on it and go from there. Let's see. Go into our catalog real quick. Do you know, Jan, if it's going to save the chat as well?
Let me see if I don't know. I didn't set it up, so
that's okay. I would say if, any of those who are interested who didn't get a chance to sign in at the beginning, I just sent it. Go ahead and click on that link, and it'll take you to the page to sign in. It's basically just your first and last name. There's an opportunity to upload your resume as well. That's helpful for us just to make sure we remember who we talked to and who kind of how they first learned about us. So for you guys, if this is your first time hearing about Gallo, just throw in their CSUN internship week, and that'll help us kind of remember to track our steps.
Okay, so if there are no more questions in the chat, we're going to wrap up. Thank you so much for coming and meeting with our students today. I will tell you, they were just leaving a sales meeting when they joined us. So they were in their cars and, so they're very dedicated to what they do. So I just want you to know that. And thanks for supporting and staying through some of our technical issues. So if you can see, there's Bailey put her LinkedIn information in there, so you can copy that. And you can, if you get to Bailey and you get into LinkedIn in general, if you go to ENJ Gallo, you'll be able to, they'll all be on LinkedIn. So okay, people are saying thank you. They really appreciated you coming here today, and as did I. And I would like to just remind our students that we have one more event, and it starts at 4 p.m. It's with Getty Merrow Internship Program, and that's in museum settings. So if you're interested, please join us. So thank you again to all of you for presenting today. An interesting program, and actually very fast. The promotion in your field is quite quick.
That's right.
And that's really very unique. And my guess is, the sales are lucrative as well. Sales
we're one of the few companies that really thrived in the pandemic. Not that we want to be necessarily super proud of that, but showing that it's a recession-proof program is definitely reassuring in uncertain times.
We can give you some sense of security.
Yeah.
We had another company who seemed to be recession-proof, and they were they had pet items, and what were they? They were and what was the other? Oh, health and pet items, and they just surged through the pandemic. Cassandra was able to come back to us in person. So I'd like to say thank you to Jenna and Bailey and Cassandra and Massimo for being here. Are you also coming to our job fair?
Yep, we're signed up for pretty much everything with you guys. So feel free to look out for us and yeah, connect with us in the meantime.
Okay, so the job fair is on Thursday, March 10th from 11 to 2. You can sign up for individual appointments with them, or you can sign up for a group meeting. I'm guessing you did both. So thanks again, and we'll see you soon.
All righty. Have a good one, guys. Thank you.
Bye-bye.